So we all know that water is one of the biggest issues with owning an RV. My first RV that I owned, I pretty much rebuilt the RV from ground up because of water damage. So today I'm going to show you some of the tips and tricks that I learned over the years on sealing the sides of the RV, and I'm going to show you some of the products that I use. Hopefully I can save you all that time and research that I already did to help you guys out so you don't have to rebuild your RV from the ground up like I did. So we're going to show you on my new RV how it's done. First, we need to identify where the RV needs to be resealed. And one of the biggest problems is sometimes they need to be resealed right from factory. So if you look here, this is an issue that the factory had. They did not seal this door properly. What you really need to look for is when the sealant is starting to crack or peel. You can kind of see here on the fender well, all the sealant kind of cracked away. And if you look up here, you can see some more cracking and some more peeling and flaking off. So these are all areas that need to be addressed. All right, so now what we need to do is get all the old sealant off of the areas that we need to address. What I used to use, I would spray a little bit of WD-40 on a rag and wipe down the sealant, and that would help kind of soften up the sealant, and then I would scrape it off. Well, this caused a lot of problems because it was a lot to clean up. So I stopped using this, and then I used to use mineral spirits to kind of clean up the WD-40. But another problem I had with this, it would leave a lot of residue, and I didn't really care for that. So I switched to the Kent Automotive Reseal. This stuff works really well. They use it actually at Ford dealers and Chevy dealers. It's actually supposed to be safe for like your decals, paint, any kind of automotive surface. So it works really well on the RV. So to get the old sealant off, what we're going to do is put a little bit of this on a rag and then wipe down that area and scrape it off. So that's what we're going to do now. So all the products that I'm going to use today, I'm going to link in the description. They are Amazon affiliate links. So if you guys are interested in checking out what I used in this video, go and check out those links. Okay, so what we need to do now is get a microfiber rag or just any rag. Start with the clean rag, and then we're going to take the Reseal here, and we're just going to get the rag damp. We don't want to just dump it on the body because you don't want to waste this. You can make this go a long way. So just go ahead and get your rag damp. And then all we're going to do with this is we're going to wipe all the old sealant, and this is going to help soften that up, so when you go to scrape it off, it'll come off a lot easier. We're just going to do a little spot here, and I got 3 different scrapers that I like to use. And like I said, I'm going to have all these linked in the description, so if you're not too sure, I'll put them in the description. And then I just go where I just put that. You can see there what's scraping off all the old sealant. And sometimes you might have to use a metal scraper, but be very careful that you're not digging it into the side of the RV because you can definitely cause some damage. So if you are going to use a metal scraper, just take your time and go easy with it. But most of the time, I get away with just using these 2 plastic scrapers. So we're just going to go ahead and get this whole thing scraped, and then I'll show you how I seal it. Now that we got all this scraped, now all we need to do is go ahead and get our microfiber rag, and I'm going to dump just a tad bit more of the Reseal on the rag, and we're going to go over where we scraped everything to get all the debris off that is still kind of sitting on there from us scraping it. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Also, I do recommend when you're using any of these products, wear some gloves. It's a good thing just to protect your skin. So let's go ahead and get this wiped off here. All right, so now we're gonna let that sit a minute, let it dry, and it'll be good to go ahead and put the new sealant on there. Okay, so now it's time to go ahead and seal the RV. We use the GeoCell ProFlex RV sealant. This I've used a couple times and I've really liked it. There's so many different products out there that so many different people recommend, but I've used this personally and it worked really well. When I got this RV, somebody used 100% silicone on some areas and it didn't work too well. A little water and lit a little water in. So I removed all that and used this, and I have not had any more problems. So this is what I'm going to use. So let's go ahead and get it sealed. So what you need to do is get your tube of the ProFlex sealant or whatever sealant you're going to use, and you're just going to want to cut a small piece off the tip of your tube of sealant, and I put maybe like 20-degree angle on it just so when you're sealing the RV it kind of lays down nice. And then what you're going to want to have while you're doing this is a rag and some soap, and also have some gloves on. So what I'm going to do, I got this tip already cut. I'm going to go ahead and lay the bead of sealant down, and then I'm going to show you what I do after that. All right, so we got the bead laid down. I used to tape off both sides of wherever I was going to put the bead, and it never really looked too good after I would run my finger across it. So what I do now is instead of taping it off, this takes way less time, and to me, it looks a lot better. So I'm just going to take some soapy water, and I just use Dawn dish soap and some water, and we're just going to spray the area that we just laid the sealant down. And then what I do then is spray a little bit of soap on my glove, and I'm just going to run my finger across the sealant. And I'll go down a little bit, and then I'll just take my rag, wipe it off, spray a little more soap on my glove, and continue all the way down. Pause it. Now, I like to spray a little bit of soap on my glove just because it keeps you from smearing your sealant on there. So I like spraying the body with soap and then spraying your glove. So every time you wipe, I'll spray a little more soapy water on my glove. And it just keeps the look of the sealant really nice and as professional as possible. At least I feel like it. Okay, it is as simple as that. I used to make it a lot harder than what I just did there, but after doing this many times, that is the quickest and easiest way I've found to do this job. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment and I'll get back to you. Have a good one.